Right, okay, so I've been asked to talk about presentation and how do I achieve such good presentation. The bottom line is you have to teach students how to present their work. You can't expect them to go, right, okay, present your ideas. As in all of my tutorials and all of the videos, I talk about frameworks and scaffolding. Now the first thing I would like to talk about is basically pre-cut your paper. Yeah, so believe it or not, I get my technician to pre-cut my paper to certain sizes so that when students go to present their work, they present it in a way that starts to look neat. Now, those of you who come from a graphics background and having taught graphic design for some time, you can talk about grids. So you can talk about a grid system and, you know, making sure that students understand that they have a page and how they might think about planning that information on the page. Yeah, so really getting students to think about what that information might be. Yeah, so again, layouts. Yeah, so before I even get the students to present, I get them to think about layouts. Okay, the next thing is obviously once they've got their layout, they can start to, you know, present their work and their information on the page because it's cut to a specific size and they know that, you know, their work will fit on or in a grid. Okay, so again, we're thinking about this grid-based system. So not only do I do that with paper and drawings, but I also do that with practical work. So that obviously, for example, I know that if they've got a gridded system, it will fit. So different size bits of paper, you know, will fit nicely on the page together. And again, when we're talking about different coloured bits of paper, you can use the different tones to highlight information. Yeah, so again, you know, I'm using a light, a dark tone, a light tone, a dark tone. But again, you know, by thinking about the types of paper, it doesn't matter whether the student is going to be doing it portrait or landscape. You know, it's about creating those systems so that students can be creative within those systems. Yeah, it's all about layout. So again, what we've got here is a couple of other options. So when I do even practical, I cut my practical examples into the right size so that I know that when students start to present their information on the page, okay, it's all going to fit nicely. So I know that 3 of these, if they want to, 3 of those, or if they want to do designs, will fit nicely on the page. So again, it's about creating those systems in order for them to be creative. So here we are. I like to use flaps. So a flaps are basically is an A3 page, so you can extend an A3 page. So again, I like to have flaps. So for example, I could have the information on here, so that when students open it up, they then have the information. On my other flap, I could have the practical sources, and again, these aren't cut very well, but again, just quickly got these from a box, but they will fit nicely. So again, it's about creating that framework, yeah, to be creative, but also showing that system, you know, not just going, right, you know, present them, because again, if they present them this way, it's not going to work, is it? You know, so I have to say to them, well, look, you can get 3 very nice grids set up in that way. Okay, so let's sort of look at a sketchbook now and have an example of how that works and that gridded based system. Okay, so again, you know, this is a good example. Flaps, you know, these all fit in a nice way. 1, 2, 3. You can have a flap with his designs. So he's using that system of a grid, again, layout, grid-based systems, yeah? Layout, grid-based systems. So again, that helps the student to be creative, grid-based, grids, yeah? So again, you know, even in here's practical, again, you know, it's about, that is an A4, that's an A4. It's about helping students to understand layout. And again, he's using those skills. Again, look, the different size papers, that helps. You're already setting them up to be creative. So again, he's taken that layout, so he knows when I set those up that they fit. You know, and that continues. So again, you know, that grid-based system, really, really good way of helping students to present their work. It's all about grids, yeah, and that continues throughout the whole book. Okay, very, you know, again, the use of flaps, the use of information, etc. Okay, so again, remember, don't just give them a plain page, create the framework within it, get students to plan stuff out, pre-cut your paper in order to find the basis of the layout. You know, if you cut the paper for them, they can be creative, but already by having pre-populated paper, you've created a system to then allow the students to be creative within it.